book is Paul pissed at the Galatians?
Everybody.
It's crazy.
Angry at the Galatians.
Hola familia.
Hello! We are here today talking about a bunch of different things.
We don't know what yet.
No, I think what would be really interesting today, there's so much I want to talk about with you, but you said something on the show
Yeah.
that I thought was particularly compelling and that a lot of people could connect with.
I'm ready.
So we're going to force you to be super transparent. It's one of my favorite things is making other people be really transparent.
Ryan's really into
Well,
this
Ryan.
game.
So you mentioned that you felt... Actually, no, I want to have you tell. So you're at dinner last night. You're about to leave with a friend, but you got to stop and confess something.
Yeah. Well, I was stopping and essentially I was saying to her, I feel uncomfortable tonight because tomorrow I know that I am going on the radio, and in order to do that, a lot of people have to help me out.
Right.
Like, I have to ask for things in order
A lot
to...
of things.
Well, Caleb, and then
Your
my
husband.
mom is watching Harvey, which I know interrupts her day and schedule, and my dad's at home too, and it's just this balance of now anytime I'm doing anything, there's other people that I need things from.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Or if I get childcare, then it's costing us money. Like, there's just... So anyway, I was just sharing that struggle of, like, I was feeling guilty that my husband had so much going on, and I was asking him to wake up early to get our son ready to drive half an hour extra
So
to
that
take
you
care
could,
of my baby.
so that you could work really hard on the radio. I mean, sweat,
This is tough stuff,
like
y'all.
labor.
Yeah. It's
And
almost
basically
working.
digging a ditch.
It's almost working. So yeah, I was just wrestling with that of, I feel bad that I'm asking Caleb to do this so that I could go be on the radio.
So, should you feel bad about that?
Well, I don't know.
By the way, hi, John. John is happy that you mentioned Worcester in your 7 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
That was nice
Thank you,
of you,
Ron.
Ron.
John,
Worcester.
you're
We can
welcome.
mention it too.
Not
Worcester.
the usual.
Worcester, Ohio. You have been mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love ya.
I
Should you
think,
feel guilty?
Well, I don't know. I think I'm kind of wrestling through the husband and wife. This is all new to me, of adding a baby to the mix, and then me not working much. So all of a sudden I feel like my job is Harvey and, like, making sure things in our home roll.
Mhm.
Like, that's on me. So then when I ask Caleb to be a part of that, sometimes I have this, like, wait, am I supposed to do that? He already has so much going on with work, and he's already stressed, and he already has this. Do you know what I mean? That's the piece
Oh,
that
I
I
do.
was wrestling with last night, which my friend Noelle was like, Hannah, chill out. This is marriage. This is what you do.
Yeah. Exactly.
But it's just new to me, this whole kid thing and me not
Mhm.
working. And it was a lot easier when we were both working and I could rationalize we both work and then we both share Harvey
Yeah.
responsibilities. Now it just feels, you
Well,
know.
tell me if this resonates with you. Before Sarah and I had kids, we didn't really need each other.
We were just talking about this at dinner on Sunday.
Like we loved each other, but she's good, I'm good. We were just like a fun team. But it wasn't until kids that I actually legitimately needed her.
We were just talking about this on Sunday. Caleb was out of town for 6 days last week for work.
Wow.
And he came home and he said, I really, really missed you. And I said, we've never said that to each other when we've both traveled for work. When I worked with Authentic Intimacy out of Colorado, I would leave for 2 weeks at a time. I didn't even ask if Caleb was cool with that before I did it. Because we
You
were
just do it.
so independent.
Why did he miss you? What's different now?
I think there's a deeper sweetness in our life with Harvey around. We spend a lot more time just home staring at him and enjoying each other. It's not just we're both home when we're not doing things, you know? And then I think probably a deeper appreciation for me in our relationship.
Yes.
We have a deeper need of each other.
Yeah, like when,
I can't believe you brought that up. We
Well,
were
no.
just talking about
I
that.
mean, when Sarah and I were first married, if she were to be out of town, dare I say, life got easier
Oh, yeah.
because it wasn't. I didn't need her before, and now
Right.
I didn't have to listen to her. I could
Oh,
do
you
whatever
don't
I
have to
wanted.
worry about dinner time or when you're going to bed.
Oh yeah, watch
Yeah.
whatever I want. Didn't have to yield to her in anything.
Sweet freedom.
And yet, I missed her more because I liked being with her in the struggle of having a kid. And yet, I missed her because, oh my goodness, it's harder when she's gone.
Right. Yeah.
I need her help. But that's hard to admit, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
Because
Harvey's-
you're a strong, independent woman. You're not a person who like needs much from anybody,
I know.
and that's
I
okay.
know.
I don't think it's a bad quality of yours. I think it's a good quality.
Which
of yours.
is funny because when everything with my job situation changed, I halfway joked about that with Caleb. That I was like, honestly, I always kind of thought that if something happened with us or you passed away, like I'd be sad, but I'd be fine. But if I ever lost a job or wasn't working, like things would not be cool. And I was half joking, but no, pretty serious. I mean, that's just how we have always operated. We love each other. We choose to serve each other and be together, but we don't need each other. Now, man. We need each other.
And there's,
Yeah.
but
Just a
there's
different
something,
level.
That's good.
there's something I don't know. Dare I say, super vulnerable about that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and yet super biblical about it. In that we know we need God, but we feel like life is easier when we think we've got it.
Right.
Like, I need you, God. It's Sunday, yay! But here I'm going to go through my week now. I don't need to be bothered with you.
Yeah.
I know it sounds
See you
callous,
next
but
Sunday.
right. But it's those moments in life where you're confronted with the fact that you truly can't do anything on your own,
Yeah.
that are simultaneously like infuriating and like spiritually necessary and peaceful.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Good way to
a
say it.
control person, so I don't like being out of control. I've told you before that when we have 5 kids, and for 3 of the births, I either did or almost passed out. And it's not just because I'm a child. Go ahead, let it all out. Go ahead.
I've laughed at it plenty of times. It's just hard to not giggle whenever it comes up.
And I couldn't, for the life of me, for years, figure out why. I don't faint. I'd never fainted in my life, and suddenly I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to faint. The edges are coming in. And I think, in hindsight, what it really has become, it's the sense of utter powerlessness. Of like, here's my wife. I can't do anything.
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing I can do right now, except sit here. And
I look good.
It's like, and I'm done.
Yeah.
And yet, it's that scary reminder that really I have, like if I'm truly honest about the scriptures, it's like, I'm powerless.
Yeah, yeah.
I need Christ.
Well, and I think it's interesting because it's also very humbling because I went through a tough season and it was one of those moments where I needed to lean on others. And I'm usually the person who's like, hey, like whatever you need, like let me know when I'm there. And so it was hard to be like, oh, it's reversed now where I actually need people. So I think it's more of a humbling kind of
Yeah.
like.
I know. I'm so
and-
bad at that. Why am I
It's
bad
hard.
at
We're
that?
all bad at it, but Crystal Kershaw was talking about that. In the whole forgiveness discussion on this morning's show, it was a lot of acknowledgement that we can't do it alone. Like sometimes to get released from feeling unforgivable is someone having to tell you. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So are you still feeling guilty right now that Caleb is like, poor guy, like sweating and
He's already at work.
Diaper-
we survived. We survived.
floral diaper bag? People looking at him like, why does that guy have a purse?
No, I bought a blue book bag. I feel like it's pretty.
Oh, I'm bummed out. I wish it was like this. Like
No,
just
it's-
unicorn colored bag.
This is
Because
my
that's
my
fantastic.
personal
That's your diaper
bag.
bag.
It's
That's your-
not my diaper bag. This is my Hannah
No.
bag. Although that also stands for Harvey, so maybe.
Do you know how many men have to carry those? Just putting that out there.
True.
Yeah, I think it's just a new. Even though Harvey's a year old now, I think I'm just starting to figure out this dance of husband and wife almost all over again, just with different dynamics.
Did you tell Caleb that you felt?
No, we haven't talked about it. Hey, babe.
Caleb?
Hi.
We got something to talk about at dinner tonight.
Do you guys normally bring up those things, or do you feel totally set free from your friend going, don't worry about it? That's essentially, it sounds callous, but it's his job. He's your husband.
I will. I want to talk to him more about it, but it all kind of was a little bit of a whirlwind late last night, and by the time I started feeling all this, he was already in bed. You know what I mean? So
you want to go, Caleb,
yeah,
wake up.
I do, but I've learned that doesn't go over great. Then he will actually be frustrated. So yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that my friend encouraged me, Noelle, she said, you just need to have a conversation with Caleb about expectations and what he does or doesn't actually think. Like, maybe he literally did not think once about this.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just dropping Harvey off. And I'm over here like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's
like,
thinking, I'm a dad. Hauling my kid around is
Yeah.
a dad thing to do.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Even like, and if this has impacted you, and by the way, Nick says hi, and I'm going, hey, he said hi to me, by the way, so
Oh,
what up, Nick?
Hey.
Sarah and I've talked about this before in that she's similarly a strong, independent woman who could really do most anything on her own. Like as a husband, I want her to need me.
it's like the song.
Which song? I want you to want me. That one?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. We're just like Vulcan mind meld, even though she doesn't know what that means.
right.
But
Dr.
no,
Patek.
as in, like, I want her to say, Brian, I need your help with this. Will you help me? So I can be like, yes, I can. You know, I'm here
Brian
for you.
is here. Yeah.
And I wonder how much Caleb even would feel that because
I
you
know,
are
I
so
know.
independent. Well,
No, I remember that during when I was pregnant and sick and helpless. I remember Caleb saying, this is the first time I've really felt like you need me. That was horrible to hear.
okay. Why was that horrible to hear?
Because I felt sad that he felt that way. That we've been married for 9 years and you've never felt like this before. Like, I guess I didn't realize that I was robbing him of that. That's what made me feel sad. Like, you've never felt like I feel like I need you all the time. But I don't know if I necessarily do things to show that.
But I think there is something, though, about married without kids that you don't really need each other.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
I
not
mean,
all
occasionally.
the time, but I didn't.
I mean,
Yeah.
occasionally, like you go through a death in the family. Okay, I need you. I'm sad.
Right.
But like physically, literally need you.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, when he said that to you, was it? I'm sure it was a tone of like, "This is so cool.
Oh, yeah.
You actually need me."
Correct.
Like he was winning as a husband.
Yeah. Who would have guessed?
So what did you do with that?
Nothing tangibly. I was very reflective on it. And I feel as though throughout my pregnancy then I saw me needing him as more of an invitation. Like, this is a cool thing. Apparently I lost that. Then
Apparently
last
you
night,
forgot about that.
I'm sitting up in stress about it, but
By the way, hello, Paul. We've got my mother is watching. Hello, Mom.
Mom is here.
Yep.
Aw.
The First Lady of Hope Alliance Bible Church is watching. Hello, Miss Anita. Kat, hello. We got a whole bunch of people on there watching. Misty, good morning. Hannah, she loves hanging out with you. Misty does.
Me and Misty.
You guys go way back. You're welcome to jump in if this is a common struggle for you in your marriage relationship. Let us now turn to the veteran married man. Did you and Dana go through this experience at all, Ron? Of like, although yours is different because she had children
Right.
when you were married.
Yeah, so I stepped into 2 kids already. It's hard to think back that far.
But
We've
even
been
now,
married almost
this
27 years now.
But even now, this feeling of, I mean, do you appreciate it when Dana needs your help? Because she's also,
Yeah.
I met Dana, she doesn't need your help.
Yeah, new jar of pickles. She needs me. You know, got to crack that thing open.
Hey, you craving any pickles?
I actually,
can,
I don't know about you, I love it when Sarah's like, Brad, I
Yeah.
can't open this. I go, well, let me take care of that for you.
Yep.
But we
Here you are, honey. Like, I love it. It sounds so weird, but I love it.
But we loosened it before you opened it.
I feel like that's the case
That's what I
sometimes.
tell her. You know, lifting heavy things, fixing things when I remember. You know.
But don't you long, though, the idea for her to, like,
Okay, hold on. I have a
need
question
you?
about
Okay,
this.
please, go.
So what's the balance between like needing, but then taking care of things so that you don't have to have it on your list or stress about it? Do you know what I mean? So I feel as though since being home and not working, I've started to take things that Caleb used to do more of like, hey, I'm home. Like, I have time to do this. Maybe instead of being like, hey, babe, if you can remember, like, we didn't do this yet. Like, we didn't get all those plants planted yet. Like, remember when you get home tonight to do that? And instead, when he comes home, I'm like, huh? The pots are planted! Like, for me, it was like, I was doing that to love him of like, you have a lot going on. You have a big stress list. I do need you for this, but let me take care of it for you. Those feel like opposite things.
And they do, because remember when you talk about biblical marriage, Christ calls husbands to love their wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for it. Like,
right.
Even though he's tired after work or whatever, he wants to sacrifice and show you he loves you by doing something for you. That's one of the ways I see that. By the way, Misty wrote and said she's learned when I try to take on so much and not ask for help that my husband is super passive and like, okay. But I've learned I've taken so much time that should have been his with our kids. Recently, I've totally turned over all things baseball with one of our boys to my husband. Mm-hmm. I, of course, go to the games, but this has been so good for my husband and my son's relationship that my husband take that. Yeah. Sarah and I need this with grocery shopping. She was taking on too much. She could do it, but it was stressing her out. And I had to say, I'm going to, even though she could in the morning, I'm going to meal plan, I'm going to grocery shop.
Man.
And some of it you may know from his love languages and what you see how he reacts. There may be, plants are just, a task that he's doing, but he really loves something else. And so you let him do that. Or maybe you talk to him about it and just say, does it bother you that I'm picking up more of the things that you used to do? Am I taking some things away that you want to do? And he'd probably say, take away.
Interesting.
Because
I haven't thought about that.
It's this ongoing struggle, though, right, of our own self-independence, where I can do this myself.
Oh, totally.
Caleb, I don't need you to do any of this. I got it. But you're going to run yourself ragged doing that.
I know.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah. I know.
So
you guys just bring me on here, tell me all these things to do. Man, I got to get it together.
We all do, though.
Yeah.
Here's the cynic and Ron and me will tell you, well, you'll battle that the rest of your life.
It's true.
Well, welcome to it. You think there's a moment you'd conquer it, right? But literally, Sarah and I had this huge meltdown a number of months ago when I had to take over doing the grocery shopping and meal planning. Because I needed to step up and she needed my help.
So what's for dinner tonight?
Well, that I'm figuring out when I get home.
It's sometimes day to day, okay?
And sometimes it is, and I feel very guilty about that. Thanks to all of you who joined in. You're welcome to weigh in as well later on as this keeps continuing. And be sure to listen in tomorrow for more of the show, not only but also overtime right after the show. Thanks to Hen and Knits for coming in today.
Good to be with you guys.
Janelle's back tomorrow.
Unless the Cedar Point, hangover is too strong.
Yeah, too much spinning, perhaps?
Too much.